It's another beautiful day, and we're very so excited to have you join us right here on Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television from the economic hub of Nigeria, Lagos. My name is Henry Igwebike. Let's start our day this morning with what we have coming from our newspapers, and right after that will be our main conversation also for today. Please do well to be part of what we do have a say in what we say. You can always find and reach us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. We're being joined this morning right here on our studios by Barrister Feli, Barrister Law Public Affairs Analyst, to see through all that we have from our newspapers and possibly on to our main conversation for today. Good morning, Barrister, and welcome.
Good morning. My pleasure.
Thank you so very much for your time.
Very well.
So let's kick start today with the first daily on our desk, coming from the Guardian newspaper. And we have the big story: 43% spike in tax revenue spurs hope for fiscal recovery and deficit cut. And on the bottom strip of the same newspaper, we have police bust arm syndicate linked to Benue killing. I am vindicated, says Onosonya, as a court strikes out loan controversy case. And Tinubu APC leaders converge on Villa as NEC tackles crucial issues. But port inefficiency, corruption spike, inflation, logistic cost by 40%. But let's go to our talking point for today. Allow Tinubu to complete second term, Ohaneze tells Peter Gregory. Obi. Barrister Feli. Peter Obi is becoming more famous than the president right now.
Very well.
Now the question is, why is the fear about Peter Obi? Because if really the APC has got its things together, why is Peter Obi scary?
They've not gotten their act together, that's why. Okay. And Peter Obi appears to be a movement, not just a presidential candidate. You see, for the first time in Nigeria, maybe for the second time after Abiola, there's a unifying, overwhelming support for a candidate who is not even yet the president, but is even much more recognized by the masses. You understand? The masses believe more in the competence or the outings of Peter Obi as against any other political figure in the country as we speak today. I mean, look at what happened during his birthday. His birthday was celebrated all over the country.
Yes.
He couldn't visit some of the parts of the country. It's just providence. You see, because all the while, Nigerians have been looking for that man who will be able to point a direction to what seems to be the solution. You understand? Peter Obi eventually may not be the Messiah, but at least is saying, cut down waste. Take care of the masses. Government is, the essence of government is the people. These school children we have, this population we have, how are we going to take care of them? These are questions that no politician asks in this country. Nobody looked at that critical mass, the very issue that really affects people and their welfare. Healthcare, welfare, education, those basic and very fundamental questions. Nobody is asking. No politician will do that.
But Buhari has been there before 2014.
Yeah, I know.
The same feeling people have for Peter Obi was what they had for Muhammad Buhari. Because they saw him like the man who is coming to end corruption, who's coming to end banditry, who's coming to end lots of things that were there.
I think Buhari had that support, but it's of the older generation.
Okay.
It was actually the older generation that passed the message to the younger generation, the few younger generation of the vote he got. And that Buhari himself actually lived a very honest life whilst he was a military man. He lived a very decent, contented life. So that in itself is an attraction. Okay, he did that, you know. But just that when he became president the second time, I mean, when he became president the first time, because the former was head of state, military head of state, he didn't know how to harness the support he got, the love he got, and all that. So that's, but I think Peter Obi's own is more contemporary. His is driven by communication, the right kind of perspective to leadership, the servant leadership agenda, wherein the leader is not seeing himself as the Lord of it all, but seeing himself as one of us that is out there to serve, that has even told the politicians to go and dig his past. Nobody has been able to come up with any corruption, any allegation, any indictment, and all that. Even the people that tried, even his kinsmen who accused him and all that. I mean, the governor of Abia State came out recently, yes, to say that the money that Peter Obi said he kept, that he was the MD of the bank at that time, and that those monies were truly kept in the bank. That some of them were used to buy Euro bonds, and so many of them, most of them will be matured in the years to come and all that. And then some have matured already, and it belongs to the state. He said it. He was the MD of the bank. Who else should we take evidence from? I mean, so this is a man that, you see, I do not care whether Peter Obi will lead Nigeria or not, or whether if he becomes president, he will deliver Nigeria or will be the Messiah. That's not the issue. The issue is that there's a leader among us from our pack that is asking the right questions and answering the right questions. Because these other politicians we have don't really care about where the average Nigeria is. A leader that does not care whether you live or die, why should you reciprocate? When Buhari died, people were saying, don't speak evil about the dead. People are saying, when he was alive, what, did he care whether we were alive or dead? So why are you putting an obligation on us? Just because somebody is dead. So Peter Obi will continue to scare them because, I mean, see, 2 governors already. You know, one say, if you must come into my state, you must tell me. The other one say, your security is not guaranteed, this and all that. And these are illiterate governors, to make matter worse, because the constitution you took an oath to defend, you don't even understand it. It is clear in the constitution that you have freedom of movement. So if you are with the banner of truth, if you are doing the right thing, people will naturally gravitate towards you. That's the universe for you. The universe is out there looking for the very few who can identify the problems, who can proffer solution, who can talk about it, who can criticize when there's wastage and the rest of that. That's exactly what it is. And no Nigerian is a fool. We are not children. You know, I mean, even if he's deceiving Nigerians, he's saying the truth. You understand? For now, what he's saying is the truth.
But historically, does the universe permit for such very few individuals to eventually become leaders? Is it very common? And on the part of Peter Obi, do we see that?
Well, I can say it's inferable from the lifestyle of Peter Obi and from the very evidence you can hold on to. He was a governor for 8 years, and when you backtrack, you will see that. That is what Plato was talking about when he talked about the philosopher king. That you must allow the most exquisite, the most intelligent, the most pro-human agent among you to lead you. You understand? You don't need the people who do not even understand what their duties or job descriptions are as governors to lead. They shouldn't lead, you know, because leadership is very critical. Leadership will determine whether people will become prosperous or whether they will be wretched, and whether they will die wretched or whether they will pull out from wretchedness or poverty. Leadership determines all that. So leadership is sensitive. If through bad leadership, a lot of people can get killed and die just because there's no public health care, just because the government is not thinking right, just because facilities are not in place, there are road accidents because there are no good roads, there are, you have dangerous situation, hazards because the government is not thinking enough for the people. But if you have a government, a leader that puts all that in place and ensure the safety of lives of the people, ensure that their businesses are protected, ensure that they have security, ensure that they have education, good road, medicals, and the rest of that. If you don't have the resources as a country to do all that, then we can interrogate the issue. How do we generate the resources? Well, here, you have the resources. You are still not able to provide these necessities, these things, that the basics, to say the least. So, whoever thinks that, and I like the fact that P2B does not back down. It's not ready for, the trivialities of the issues about him. Every week they pick one thing about him to talk about. They're all lies.
It's even very funny. I do not know if you've seen the viral video of a rumored attempt to bribe Tunde Ednut with 250 million. So he could speak bad of Peter Obi, which he rejected.
I've seen that,
yes.
Because Tunde Ednut himself have said that he's going to follow Peter Obi to the end. So, not because Peter Obi has given me anything. It's not every time you can buy everybody and all that. Buy everything. You have people who just believe that once we use money, we can go and buy anything, just buy. In the Holy Writ, somebody came to meet Peter and said, you see that anointing I displayed there? Take this money, give me that thing, I want to go and use it. A sorcerer. He said, you perish with your money. Not everything money will buy. There's still sanity in the world. There's still sanity in Nigeria. You understand? Just a few days ago, Trump was advising the American citizens not to come into Nigeria because of a kidnapping and a bad public health care system. Advising using us because of the way just a few days ago, our president died in the hospital in London. It speaks volume.
Very well.
You understand? He doesn't even need to tell his people. These people are not serious with their lives. We're not serious. Because if we're serious, we know in the 70s, the dollar was barely... The dollar does not even have the strength that the Naira commanded then. So what happened exactly? Why should people take us serious? Exactly why? It's because of the kind of leaders we've had. The past and successive. We've not had the best of leadership. And when you now have someone who exemplifies something positive and good, you don't want him to you use all the state against him. You use INEC, you use vote buying, you use even the party agents of the Labour Party in the last election. Many of them were bought over. And so that boils down to the people again. Because it's not just about the leadership. But that the people too are not tired of this mess. The people are not tired of this mess. The average Nigerian knows how to push to the brim. He pushes himself like he's going to get a change. He gets to the cliff where the change is supposed to happen when he remembers his fellowship with poverty and hardship and all he changes his mind. He will collect money and thwart the process.
Well, we hope things get better. Let's go to the Daily Trust newspaper. Nentawe tipped to chair the APC. A very interesting story here. Barrister, let's talk about that for a bit here. We're talking about the possibility. The APC actually having a NEC meeting today. Bola Tinubu Shettima, the Vice President in the last administration, Osibajo, actually having a NEC meeting. And the swing is, the pendulum is actually going towards the North Central, which would have gone before now, but of course, Bola Tinubu, being who he is, mandatorily made it that Ganduje was the chairman. Now, do you think moving to the North Central might give the APC the lost lack of good perception that it has before now?
Well, they're supposed to keep to the rules of their constitution, okay? So, it's supposed to be the North Central right now. So they have enough hands, the North Central. Well, even in the current executive, the current NEC, National Working Committee, they have enough hands, okay, so they should do the right thing. It's an internal affair of the party, for which the court have ruled that they need not interfere. about all those issues. So they should look carefully into it and get someone who can rally the party around. Because as we speak, the party have a lot of problems. So many persons are disgruntled. So many of them. Okay. Now, they didn't like the leadership style of Bola Tinubu, and many of them that appears to have been shortchanged, who work for the party and they believe they are entitled to, because politics in Nigeria is not about the growth of the country. Politics in Nigeria is about what you can get. If you're a party member, you are not looking at the party ideology. You are looking at after you work, how much they're going to give you. That's a very wrong way to play politics, because you should be looking at your party's performance and the country at large, what your country is becoming, because your party is in the helm of affairs.
But do you think we can ever get that off the grid without first fixing the economy? Because all of those things have a remote cost. There's the places coming from. When people do not have enough disposable income,
Yes.
when the little thing that come to them seem little because where they are coming from is better. Do you think we can ever get all of this individualistic ideology
You see, there is no
out of the system?
There's no amount of there's no amount you package in terms of welfare that's enough for human being. Human needs and wants are insatiable. What I'm saying is that there must be a demand on the average Nigerian citizen. There must be a demand on the average Nigerian citizens to prioritize nationhood as against individualistic gain or pecuniary gain just because you are a member of a political party. If you are working for the political party to see that your country becomes great, that is what it should be. You are not working for the political party so that your pocket will be swollen, so that you can collect enough money and take back home. Because if we do it like that, if we put it that way, that all of us, whenever we converge, it's about cutting our own to put in our pocket. What we have as Commonwealth will not be enough, because there's enough for our need, but there's not enough for our greed. And when we start that individualistic appeal, let me collect, you collect, this one collect, that one collect, it will not be enough for us. But if we congregate, and anytime we congregate, the agenda is to push Nigeria forward, is to use the resources we have to correct all our wrongs, and our country now boost, because that will also in a way improve the living standard of the people, improve wages, because if you have everything working and running, for example, now we have proper railway system across the country. Okay, we don't need to be in the city all year round before we travel for Christmas in the last month of the year. We could go every weekend if we want. So and that will also create more inflow of goods and services, because the farmers who are farming can get their goods out from the farm into the city as quickly as possible. They will earn more. If they are in the village and they are dependent, we've seen situations where people who live in rural areas became so prosperous that the people in the city became dependent to them. You understand?
Started going back. And,
good transport system will enhance that. Healthcare system, people will live better life. They will improve. They will communicate more intelligently when they are healthy. Teachers will teach the students better because they are healthy. Okay, the students themselves will understand better. They will improve intelligence. They will improve innovations and inventions. So it's a value chain. So it's a value chain. But if we want to be taking you take this, steal this, steal that, steal this, steal that, we can't go anywhere with that.
Very true. Scaling prosperity is what it is, and I would love to believe if that is achieved, then possibly this self-gratification that we have seen ourselves in, especially with party politics, might possibly end. Barrister, let's take a look at other matters here. Federal government to spend $747 million on coastal highway as reps approve fresh loans. I do not know if this loan is different from the $21 billion. that the Senate is about to approve or even have approved.
There's a loan plan. The Buhari administration came out with a loan plan, and they will be taking it as they progress.
So the 21 billion is everything all inclusive.
I can't remember again. We did this this thing here. I think the total funds. I can't remember what the total fund was, but they are going to be taking it. They are not going to pull it once. Okay. They will take it as they progress in the that loan plan. Was it? No, it was not even Buhari. It was TINUBU'S government, and I came out with the loan plan. Yeah, initiated it early this year. Initiated the loan plan. That is the plan they are going by. I can't remember the total figure, but I know that this is locked under the same. So what he would do is every time they need to take it, he will write a letter to the Senate, because Senate must approve, oversight that fund. Okay, so that's what it is. And since Senate already approved of that project, it's as good as anytime you present it, they will sign it, because there's no opposition even in the Senate. They are not oversighting anything. So my only worry is that Calabar Coastal Highway is that why is a good project? I would have suggested that the existing roads that are bad, very bad, when you go to the road between Benin and Abuja, yes, before you get to there's this place in Edo State, I can't remember again. That part is very bad. To the east, you have so many bad roads that you cannot, and there are federal roads, major roads and all that. So this one is good, but we don't know how viable is it when they are done with it, and what is the return on investment.
Very true. That's yesterday a senator actually was neck to neck with Senate President Godswill Akpabio, he was telling him that this very spontaneous approval of whatever the president brings is hurting the nation. And the history, he looked actually at the Senate president's eyeball to eyeball and told him that the history would remember him as someone who was there and allowed all of these things to happen. The question then is Senate President Godswill Akpabio truly, is it that he doesn't understand all of this, or he's just playing some gallery?
This was a Senate president that sang for the president that things are getting better. That things are getting better, even when we can't see the signs of things getting better. Okay, so this National Assembly does not really have that device to oppose the president, but they are working hand in hand. They have majority in the House. They believe in all the programs of this government, even the ones that are not people driven, that have no value, real value to the people. They believe in all. So that's what they are doing. Many of them do not want to ruffle feathers with the authority for fear of being stopped or returning to Senate. Many of them have issues of godfatherism and all that. Many of them don't have words of their own. They don't have a mind of their own. They are told what to do as senators. Many of them go to kneel down. Some of them serve tea, and the rest of that. So the level of do I call it compliance? Forceful compliance or subservience. That's the word. Subservience is high at the Senate. It's
actually becoming worse. Just yesterday, 7 PDP members defected to the APC.
Yes.
And they say the APC is almost there, inching towards the two-third majority, which means the time would come there might not even be votes any longer. Just what they say is what happens, and every other person says.
They'll just be adopting.
Amen to that. But let's take a look at other matters. Defection drama. APC, PDP exchange barbs over Adeleke's U-turn. People have called them political orphan. The only governor the APC has rejected. Oboriwori plugged to the center. It was very easy. Omoyeno plugged to the center. Very easy. Adeleke wants to plug, and they're telling him the network is not available.
No, but he has said he's going to support that, though it's a PDP, that will support Tinubu.
No, that was when he was rejected, actually, because he had always wanted to plug to the APC. But the APC members in Osun State said no, they are not interested.
So The whole thing is funny, very, very funny, because the president has played politics throughout. He has never governed for one day, just politics, you know. And to see that governors are moving from left, right, center, and all that, because also many of them saw what INEC became of under that Tinubu's under the transition between Tinubu and Buhari. Most of them, they saw what INEC, what became of INEC, and that is for me a very huge problem. A huge problem that the likes of P2B will need to think very deeply about, and Nigerians, okay, to state who determines sovereignty, whether it's INEC or the people. Who determines legitimacy, whether INEC or the people? That's a very huge question. A very huge question, because even when they came up with the idea in the House that they are coming up with, and there's a bill already to stop the president from appointing the INEC chairman. Yeah. You understand? And that's one direction that you can really work with, because the subservience, when a president appoints an umpire, then you're not expecting the umpire to work against the president. It's a tough thing to do. Yeah. It's a tough thing to do. We have to be at our best, you understand, to be able to deliver this country. So many things are wrong. Very, very so well. And lastly, tariff battle escalates. Discourse reject reviews talks with states. And when we talk about discourse, Barrister, we're talking about the likes of Tony Elumelu with his higher holdings, and also Otedola with his Geruge power station and all. And these are one amongst them, other people, actually very stakeholders, big ones in that matter. How do you think this would resolve towards going forward, knowing that states want things that would be better for their indigents, but of course the discos and the gencos are saying, no, leave the tariff the way you met it? Well, that is why a lot of institutions are exiting the national grid, because the national grid now is the government, the federal government involvement in it too has its own problem. The discos, the gencos have their own problem. Every area of this country, every phase. And the problem is tied primarily to billing, the tariff. You understand? When you deregulate power, it is expected that people will pay more, really. Yeah, because the subsidy that was on it at that time was so that the people were able to. Power is very expensive, very, very expensive. But in the Nigerian case too, you find out that the private companies too want to make very huge profits under a system that is not delivering to the people, because the people are not that empowered. You understand? So it's going to take time for them to recover from their investment. But I thought Nigerians are not scared of paying bills once the services are there. Yeah, no, they pay. They are paying now. Even when they're increasing it, people are not. People still, of course. People are not disconnected now. They are still paying. Yeah, but it's suffocating. It's so much, and the companies still want to increase. So the regulatory authority has to regulate that price. That you cannot be increasing every market day. You can't be doing that. There must be, even if the cost of operation and everything is. There should be a human face to it, okay? When you're making increments, it can't just be arbitrary. Anytime you just wake up, you adjust. Anytime you wake up, you adjust. This last year alone, they for more than 4 or 5 times. You understand? So is that how they do it in other places? Well, they're actually crying that the federal government is owing them about 5.4 trillion in naira. Yes. And the question is, if they further reduce the tariff, how would they even get back their lost money and the one that would come in the future? Yes, I know that the federal government is owing seriously. It's owing them. And that is the reason the federal government need to pay them. Yes, to pay them, because what is the essence of governance? It's not the people. Whatever it is they're owing them, you pay them. If you cannot pay them once, you enter into an agreement as to how you'll be paying it, either quarterly or every month or whatever. You'll be able to clear it. The federal government have to pay them because they're in business to make profit. And they're in business to sustain the business. So they cannot be out there supplying services and all that, giving services, are not able to recoup their investment. They should be able to recoup their investment, make profit, and sustain the business, and still be in the business.
Very true. Just like we had it recently on a far-side discussion or conversation between Peter Obi and Adams Oshomole. They were arguing on the government and Bola Tinubu being the surgeon who has come to repair Nigeria after going through so much. And Peter Obi said, you have removed subsidy. Where are you reinvesting that money? Where are you reinvesting it? Let it be feasible. Let Nigerians see it. If it's there, they will see it. But if it's not, it's a growing call. We'll be right back. President Bola still here, and we'll be talking about TINUBU'S silence on Shettima's 2027 role. Worrying, says the former political advisor Hakeem Baba-Ahmed. It's still Enterprise Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So very much for joining us. The Still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. On to our main conversation for today. Former political advisor to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Hakeem Baba-Ahmed, has criticized the president for not publicly dismissing rumors of plans to drop Vice President Kashim Shettima ahead of the 2027 elections. Despite denials from presidential aides, Baba-Ahmed believes that Tinubu's personal silence has fueled ongoing speculations. Speaking on Channels Television Politics today, Baba-Ahmed said the president should have made a clear, direct statement expressing confidence in Shettima and putting an end to the rumors. He stressed that a simple affirmation from Tinubu would have sufficed to calm concerns. If the stories are baseless, he said the president should have said so himself. Emphatically, Baba-Ahmed added, leaving it to his aides isn't enough. It's unsettling. We still have Barrister Fansufeli. Barrister, let's talk about this burning issue, because politics is not just for one person. It's a congregation of good people, great people, people who truly do understand what they should be doing. The president cannot do without his vice. Prior to the election, Shettima said he was going to be in charge of security. The president should be in charge of governance and economics. 2 years down the line, we do not know if it has changed or it's not even there at all, because no one is in charge of anything, as Nigerians have observed. The question then is, do you think Shettima has an electoral value?
Well, Shettima was a governor for 8 years, right? So, as a governor, he played his role as a governor. He did his best as a governor. So, to say that he does not have electoral value may not be right, because he was in the banks. I think in Zenith Bank. From Zenith Bank, he became a governor, and he was there for 8 years and all that. So, I may not subscribe to the ideology that he does not have electoral value. Okay,
but he doesn't have enough.
I would rather say that perhaps the party is serving under, may not be, either the party or the president may not be satisfied with his contribution to the party. They may not be satisfied. That's what I think, because these rumors point to several directions. It's telling us a lot about what is going on internally, in the affairs, If the president does not want to use him again. I don't think it's the president's decision. It's that of the party, the National Working Committee of the party. It's not, the president cannot single-handedly, there's a political party.
Really?
Yes.
Even if the president is running the party?
It is a party that contests election. So the party's input.
Yes.
The party's input is required. The president cannot just wake up one day and say he doesn't want to use the man again and they should bring another person. They will discuss it, that's what I mean. The party will discuss it with the president. Yes, it's the president doesn't mean he can take a unilateral decision for the party.
So even if the president has more influence than the party, like we can see today in Nigeria?
And that's what I'm saying. The president having more influence than the party has its own place. But do you think the president can go to the polls alone?
No, yes.
The president is going to go to the polls with the Nigerian constitution. You must be sponsored by a political party. You understand? You know, the moment his tenure ends, he's just like any other candidate. The only thing he has going for him is incumbency, which command influence, and that's all. So the president cannot go to the polls alone. There's no way the party will not make input in that decision. That's what I'm saying. Have the party discussed it? Have the party taken a decision? Those are the questions we need to ask. If the party have discussed it and they've taken a decision that this thing should move to another, fine and good. Okay? Because the party will be, there's what they call party supremacy in political party. Party supreme means the collective decision of the party supersedes individual consideration. That's what it means. Okay. So if that is anything to go by, that issue will be discussed. But what Baba-Ahmed is saying is that, who incidentally is the brother to the other.
Okay, Dati.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are all
Really?
the same family. Yeah.
Oh.
They own the Base University.
Really? Yes. Oh,
Is it Base University?
Yes, Base University Abuja.
University Abuja. So that's the same family.
Oh.
So they will discuss it, that's what I mean, and they will come up with an idea. That's exactly what they want to do. It's not an individual thing, like I said. They will decide how they're going to run through the process, and that is what it should be. So we should be asking, but what the man is saying, what this man was saying is that the president ought to have debunked the rumor himself. That living in the hands of his aides made it unsettling. Okay? Made it look like it's the truth that really, because we've seen situations where aides of president will come and say something, another one will come and say, no, that's not what happened. Say another one. So we cannot take the information of these aides as official information,
statements.
To run with. We can't. If it's a party that thing came from, it's even much more stronger than coming from the aid.
Yes, but I understand that both of us obviously are not body language experts to tell what might come out of the body language of an individual. But when you take a look at the Shettima and President Bola Tinubu body language, does it really tell to does that come with a base that this thing is true, that there could be a very little rift between both of them?
Yeah, we hardly even see both of them together. Hardly. I mean, I'm not. Hardly do you see both of them together. It's either one is attending a function here, the other one is representing the other, or something.
Well, the last time we saw them together was at the burial of Muhammad Buhari. Yes. I do not know if you've seen that viral video when both of them were about to, get on the private jet. Shettima went first, and President Bola Tinubu was like, "Come down here" or something. It was there, So I do not know. But of course, that is still not substantiated. We can't base that as a fact. We need to base with what we see. President Bola Tinubu had a meeting with Kwankwaso last week. The details are still not there. Because that was why I talked about electoral value. Kwankwaso still comes with his 2 million, which has never left him over the years, and that is good enough. Kano, if Kano is taken, the people have said the whole North vote in Kano is more than that of the southeast of Nigeria. So don't you think that's a good reason?
I know, but that's inconsequential.
It is inconsequential.
Yes, because
you could do the maths.
No, it's inconsequential now. clinching in presidential is not simple majority. You need to have 25% of 24 states, which has nothing to do with you get one state does not mean you have advantage over the other, because the spread, you must have the spread. 25% of 24 states is what you need to become a president of Nigeria. Not simple majority.
Bola Tinubu had it the last time.
Yes, now.
P2B was not there.
No, they didn't have the spread. Was not. It didn't get the spread because in the northern part, especially the northwest, it didn't have enough to cover the ground. Okay, so you need that's section 132 of the Constitution now. Section 132, 134 of the Constitution. You see how it is. You need to have that spread of 25% of 24 states. That means you have to win 24 states, okay? And in that 24 states, you need to have 25% of the entire vote.
So even if P2B if he had more numbers and didn't cover up that spread, he would not have won.
No, he will not win. It won't win. It's not about it's not simple majority. If it's simple majority, down is easy now. You score 10, I score 12, I've won. But if you score 10 and you have spread, and I score 12 and I don't have spread, you won.
And we respect that in Nigeria.
Yes, that is the Shagari and Awolowo this in the first issue.
But that was what happened.
Yes, yeah, it has to do with the spread, you know.
Awolowo had more votes.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, you are not able to. You had more votes, you didn't have the spread. You understand? So it's an issue. You check section 134, 132 to 134 of the Constitution. You see so it's important that we know that it's not just about Kanu. But I know why that meeting with Kwankwaso is strategic, because Kwankwaso is because now it's going to get tighter for Tinubu in the north, because there's a lot of discordance, dissatisfaction, and also of that. You know, it was very smooth for him in the first time, but now because of his appointment, a lot of people are saying the appointment is only Yoruba. And the other infractions, they perceive infraction. And there's also a dissatisfied wing in the north going around campaigning against him. So right now, I'm just talking hard politics now. Right now, Shettima may not be the best he will need for the second term. That's the truth.
And that might not hurt him if he discards Shettima.
It will. It's politics about interest. You understand? Shettima may not be the best of brand. He needs somebody that have a widespread, because Shettima, apart from Borno State, have never done anything national apart from this first outing.
Unfortunately, he didn't even win Borno the last time.
Yeah, he didn't even win. Okay, have never tested his political quotient on a national scale. The only time he did it was this outing that made him vice president. But Kwankwaso have done it over and over again, and we have seen the spread. So that will count for him. Then it will also count for the Hausa population. Okay, the Hausa population who feel left out also in that region. So many things. Tinubu and Kwankwaso ticket is a very viable ticket. Very viable. Especially now that other parties have left that angle. Because by now, I thought a political party like Labour or the ADC would have sealed up that. And that's why Tinubu is going to seal it up early.
Especially with the appointment of Babangida's son and other people from the north.
Yes. He's trying to soften that little error that he has committed against the north. He's trying to recalibrate it. You understand? Using the remaining 2 years to, and because Kwankwaso, that is a very viable candidate, have been in the loop alone for a long time. All these political parties that are making could have done what they ought to do to see how they can get, merger, partnership, or whatsoever coalition with him, because he's a very viable force. He's a known voice in that area, and he's loved till tomorrow, just like Buhari. So, if you don't, that's why Tinubu is taking the road as early as possible to do all he wants to do. That's the politics.
That's the politics, but of course, the northern part of Nigeria are not seeing that really as a good enough politics. I've watched viral, videos that have gone viral, and some northerners have stated that even if Nyesom Wike becomes the INEC chairman and does the bidding of President Bola Tinubu, them in the north have learned from the bad things that Bola Tinubu has done to them and might not vote for him. So don't you think, despite, if possible, Kwankwaso becomes the vice, let's say he becomes that, the commonness of the northern people, do you think that can be broken by the Kwankwaso effect?
We've seen that now. We've seen that over and over again. There are times when the north, some persons will come together and say they are the north.
Oh, okay.
And that they are taking this stand, whereas the real people who will come out to vote on that, they have their own. So you cannot really determine what group, what clique, what convergence is the north. Everybody claim to be the north. You understand? So what is important is that the politician is able to play his politics very well. He's able to get the right kind of candidate, because that's where it starts from. If you have the wrong candidate, no matter the kind of politics you play, you will not get it right. Get the right candidate first. That's the first thing. They get the right candidate. Get the square pegs in square holes first. Then before you now talk about other consideration. You now talk about campaign strategies. You now talk about exchange. Those materials they give. You now talk about other political strategies that you're going to deploy to claim victory. That's exactly what it is.
Yes, so all that we're talking about basically are for the elites, but for the common Nigerian, the common northerner, it's about what he will take home at the end of every day, which is still missing in the mix of everything. Bola Tinubu would not have struggled this much if he had led well. Do you think that might affect him?
That's a very profound statement to make. I mean, that's profound. If he had led well. You see, because his first outing, this first time, there was no incumbency, because Buhari had concluded and there was no incumbency. So it was a free floor for all. And when you look at the kind of politics he played too, using institutions against, the people are now aware of that's a possibility. The people are more guarded now. Okay? They may obstruct that. So if he had led well, he wouldn't be struggling, because this thing looks like struggle.
Yes, very.
Your poster and banner is already all over the place, swelling the day, not minding whether INEC have lifted the ban on this thing and all that. So if he had led well, like you said, if he had led well, it should be. Because even what really gave him a setback is this subsidy thing in removal, and life change, people's life change and all that. But do you know that even in the midst of that, there were no sufficient communication? Because you see, it's a complex thing to do when you take a policy, take a decisions like that. You take decisions like that and you are not able to explain it to the understanding of the common man, the lowest in society. Even part of the elite, many people today still do not understand why you should take off subsidy. Then what you claim you have saved from that removal is nowhere to be found. So is it not better for us to be paying subsidy? At least when they call us and say, where did this 12 trillion, where did it go to? We say subsidy. Now we cannot point to that 12 million, where it's going to and where it is. We cannot. We don't know. That fund you have to say, where is it? Nobody knows. So that's the problem. If you are led well, like you said, he will not struggle, but he has to struggle. That's his cup of tea. He will have to, it's up to him.
Very hard one there. 2027 is still far off. Hopefully, things would change in politics, like they all often say. 24 hours is big enough time for lots of things to change. The permutation is still on. People are still scrambling for where to go to. Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar, yes, they've not left their parties. Atiku had left the PDP, but it stated he's not gone to the ADC. Peter Obi is still with the Labour Party. He still hasn't gone to the ADC. So lots of permutations here and there as 2027 approach. And the APC are still very neck deep on trying to see if they can scale their popularity and appease the lives of appeals to the lives of Nigerians, who of course will go to the polling station to do what they need to do. It's still a very developing story, and right here on Enterprise Television we promise to get you that as it unfolds. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here.
Very well, my pleasure.
I appreciate you. All right, people, that's just about the time we have. We'd love to say thank you. Please do well to visit us if you may. You can always read up on everything we've talked about when you visit us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Gwebike. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.